Mindset is everything. It is powerful. Once your mind is set and aligned with your goals, your decisions and actions will follow from there. In today's video, I'm going to share 3 simple and effective mindset shifts with you that made a huge impact on my weight loss journey and that helped me cultivate and sustain healthy habits over time. I'm Katerina. I'm a registered dance movement therapist and clinical counselor here in beautiful Australia. Couple of disclaimers. Please seek medical advice from your trusted medical professional, such as your doctor, if you're concerned for your health. And last but not least, I urge you to seek professional help if you are showing signs and symptoms of an eating disorder. The link to the website of the Butterfly Foundation is in the description box of this video. They provide information and resources on this topic and can link you in with a specialized counselor who has specialized knowledge on this topic. Mindset shift number 1. Visualize yourself at the end point. Now, this is the strategy that comes with mindset shift number 1. I want you to ask yourself, what is your why? What are you trying to achieve? Why are you trying to lose weight? What stands behind the number on the scales that you're trying to achieve? Because a number is just a number. Are you trying to fit into old clothes again? Are you trying to be able to roll around and jump around with your kids on the floor? Are you trying to improve your health? Whatever it is for you, you need to keep that front of mind. Visualize what that looks like and what that feels like when you've achieved that goal, and try to put yourself into that sense of imagination as often as you possibly can. And make your goal a SMART goal. Make it specific. So I'll give you an example of mine. About 15 years ago, I set myself to lose 7 kilos within 3 months to fit into a particular dress at my dear friend's wedding. And it was a dress that my dad had bought for my mum many, many years prior, and my mum no longer fit into that dress, and I had never fit into that dress. It was a gorgeous dress, and I really wanted to fit into it for that wedding. And I had no plan B. My mind was set. So it was very specific, that particular dress for that wedding. And it needs to be measurable. So for me, of course, if the zip goes up at the back, I know I fit into that dress. So that was the way to measure my success. For you, it may be fitting into those old jeans again. It may be the ability to roll and jump around with your kids. And it may be, your blood work once your health has improved. So whatever that is for you, make it measurable. Make it achievable. If you're trying to fit into jeans that you wore at 14 when you're now 25, I would question whether that's a realistic goal or whether that's really achievable. For me, losing 7 kilos in 3 months seemed quite tight, but it was doable. And it needs to be relevant. For me, the dress was relevant for my friend's wedding. So it was a relevant goal that I had that, was for a specific event. And it needs to be time-bound. So for me, I had 3 months. My friend's wedding was on a certain date. I wanted to fit into that dress on that certain date. So for you, if you want to roll around and jump around with your kids and they may still be little, you might want a time frame around that because, in 10 years' time, they'll be grown up and you may not, they may not want to do that with you anymore. So there's obviously a time limit, and you need to set yourself that time limit so that it's a SMART goal, something that you really are looking forward to achieving. Mindset shift number 2. Cultivate an intuitive eating mindset. This relates to abandoning a restrictive eating mindset. So about 15 years ago, when I was on my weight loss journey, I found a book that was called Stop Dieting and Lose Weight by Di Harris. It's not readily available on Amazon, so I haven't linked it for you, but it is potentially available on eBay or other suppliers' websites. About different dieters' beliefs and how they are myths and what to do instead in order to cultivate an intuitive eating mindset. So I had 2 key takeaways from that at the time. I was very much in that mindset of, I won't have chocolate from Monday to Friday, and on the weekend I might be able to allow myself that. But on Tuesday, I might have a piece of chocolate and think, oh my gosh, it's all over now. I might as well have the whole block, and I would have a lot more than just one piece. And instead of telling yourself that you can't have it at all, having 1, 2, or 3 pieces is actually okay. It makes a lot of sense to have just a couple of pieces and then stop, rather than telling yourself, I'll just start another diet on Monday. and putting yourself through your body through that process of digesting this ultra-processed food. It makes so much sense to me, and it is really about abandoning the deprivation mindset. So for me, I have chocolate all over the house now. I allow myself to have chocolate anytime. I have chocolate every day. I try to have dark chocolate just to make myself, less addicted to it because it's got less sugar in it. But I will have chocolate every day, and I will just have 1, 2, 3 pieces. And I know I can stop because I can have it anytime. And sometimes I don't feel like having chocolate, and I tell myself I can have it anytime because it's readily available. I've got it right there, and I can take it or leave it. So there's not that sort of sense of rarity around it where when you have it around the house, you just have to have it. The other personal takeaway was that, let's say you've got something like this in your fridge or in your pantry, and I'm not anti-wagon wheels, it's just an example, but you're going to binge on it. If that's you, if you're going to binge on it, well, this book says it's going to end up in the bin anyway, whether you put it in the bin now or whether you're going to put your body through the process of digesting this ultra-processed food first. It's going to end up in the toilet. So either way, it's going to end up as waste. So you may as well put it in the bin right away. And for me, that was so profound. It might seem silly to you, but for me, who doesn't like wasting food, it made so much sense, and it made such a difference to me being able to put things in the bin because I didn't want to binge on them. Mindset shift number 3. Remember how things make you feel and work through that with your body-mind connection. So for example, when you're doing exercise, you're strengthening certain muscles and you're engaging certain muscles. So make sure that you're aware of what muscles you're using while you're doing the exercise. So for example, when I'm walking, I can feel my butt muscles moving. Or when I'm doing Pilates sessions, just body weight Pilates, and I focus on core exercise, I can really feel my body and my core engage. And that will translate into your mind believing that you are strong because your body is engaging in improving its strength. So your mind will start believing, I'm strong, I'm a strong person, I can do anything. It will increase your confidence. And that is an added benefit to those benefits that you're trying to achieve, whether you're trying to fit into those jeans again or rolling around with your kids or improving your health. It will also reinforce your ability to go on your weight loss journey, because if you believe that you can do this and that you're a strong person, you will keep going. It will help you keep going. I've also gotten a book on the Willpower Instinct by Dr. Kelly McGonigal. I'm going to link that for you below. And it's a book about self-control and how to get more of it. And she talks about strategies on how to get more of it and gets you to reflect on willpower, your self-control, or maybe your lack thereof, and what you can do to get more. She's also written a book about the joy of movement, and I'll link that for you below as well. She's a researcher and a psychologist, so she tells you about how movement is really meant to be a source of joy, and I talk a bit about that in my video on More Weight Loss Hacks, about picking a type of movement that you enjoy, make it a source of pleasure, a source of joy. And she talks in her book about, in more detail, the research around that. So if you're interested in delving in deeper, you're welcome to do that. And another example is to help yourself remember how certain foods make you feel based on past experience. So when I go to the supermarket and I'm hungry, which is probably not a good idea because I end up buying more usually and more processed foods if I'm going to the supermarket hungry. So what I do is I pick up a packet of food that I kind of get attracted to in the moment, and I try to remember how that made me feel in the past when I ate that food. And if I remember it not making me feel very good, I will put it back down, and vice versa. If it's a whole food, I remember how it made me feel. It made me feel good, so it's something that I will buy. So there's a couple of strategies of how to remember how things make you feel and working with that body-mind connection. Remember to align your actions with your goals by working with the mind-body connection. Remember your why and keep it front of mind. Visualize what it looks and what it feels like to achieve your goal. Abandon the deprivation mindset. and remember what it feels like to do exercise and to eat certain foods. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I'll see you in the next video.